Hey guys, Dean here with another armchair review. Sick as a dog, so just kind of like rolling with it and doing pretty quick and easy reviews. Got some time off work, so I'm just chilling watching movies. It's basically the only thing I can really do. Anyhow, I watched this bad boy today. John Carpenter's The Fog. Released in a really nice box set from Studio Canal. That's amazing. You got posters in here and everything. You got postcards, soundtrack, the Blu-ray, the 4K DVD, and also the special features. So I'm not going to go through all that today. I did an unboxing of that in a previous vlog, so I kind of showed you what was inside here, but the packaging is amazing. I mean, look at that. The detail and the care they've taken for this is sick. It's so good. And the transfer itself was damn amazing. Studio Canal are doing an amazing job transferring these old movies into pristine 4K, and the HDR is just incredible to look at. I'm a massive John Carpenter fan, so having his works get this kind of deluxe treatment is just amazing. So I'm just so in love with that. The Fog itself, not one of my favourite films in his catalogue, but it is a lot of fun. It only goes for 1 hour and 29 minutes, so it doesn't outstay its welcome. So it's just one of those movies you can just throw on one lazy afternoon and it's over before you know it, so it's a real good time killer that way. Pretty good cast too. It's got some of John Carpenter's tried and true troupe. We've got Adrienne Barbeau as Stevie Wayne. This is her movie debut as well, and she was actually married to John Carpenter at the time, so it was really cool having her on screen. Can't say I'm a massive fan of hers, but I do enjoy her when she is on screen. She's in some of my favourite movies. Creepshow in particular. The segment in that one called The Crate, she plays a nasty wife to this guy, and they've got this big crate under the stairs downstairs in their basement, and there's a creepy monster in there that eats people. Scared the hell out of me as a kid, but I remember her strongly from that one. She's also in Escape from New York too, which is a John Carpenter film with Kurt Russell. That's sick. That's one of those ones. I'm going to be doing a review on that soon too. It's also got the same treatment, same box set from Studio Canal, so keep a lookout for that one. We've got Jamie Lee Curtis, Scream Queen extraordinaire. Just recently watched her in Halloween, the new one, which just came out, so seeing her in such a young role, I've got my IMDb thing here again, such a young role compared to how she's now is quite the contrast, but I'm always going to be a fan of Jamie Lee's. She's amazing. Her mum, Janet Leigh, was in this one, primarily known as Marion Crane from Psycho, so that's really cool having her turn up in this one as well. Then we've got John Houseman, who had a really nice delivery at the beginning of the film, just kind of setting up the plot, basically about some scary ghost pirates who are coming back to seek retribution on a town that done them wrong 100 years ago, in the guise of the fog. It's really cool. Nancy Loomis, who played Annie in Halloween, she's in this one as well. I was hoping that her and Jamie Lee would have a lot more scenes together. They didn't, which sucks. We've got Hal Holbrook, who plays a priest, one of those classic legendary actors you just love seeing on screen. Also, we have got Tom Atkins, who was the lead in Halloween 3, so the season of the witch. So it's really cool having him and Jamie Lee Curtis together. Okay, we just had a bit of a interruption there. The SD card in here is actually, I filled it up, so I've got a few things on here I need to delete. I did do some 4K footage the other night, so my 128GB card was full. So continuing on, yeah, I was talking about Tom Atkins, so yeah, having them in this movie together after being in the Halloween franchise also is pretty cool. So it's good seeing them together and doing a thing. We also got Charles Cythers and George Buckflower. Now George Buckflower is just one of those actors that I fell in love with in Back to the Future. He kind of plays the tramp who's sleeping on the seat when and witnesses Marty McFly doing a lot of travelling in the DeLorean. So I've always kind of was endeared by his name, Buck Flowers. So he is here as one of the sailors at the beginning of the film. We've got Tommy Lee Wallace as a ghost, and we've got Rob Bottin, who's more famous as being a special effects wizard. He wanted to play the character of Blake. He requested John Carpenter to give him the role, so John Carpenter asked him to stand up. Rob Bottin thought that he was being asked to leave, but Carpenter was just sizing him up. He needed a big guy, and Rob Bottin's a big guy, so yeah, he got the role. So the basic plot of this film is, like I mentioned, is this creepy fog overtaking this small town, Antonio Bay. So what has happened is 100 years ago, the forebears, the founders of this town, six of them have done something to this ship run by Blake. They sank it somehow, and stole Blake's gold. So there were 6 founding members of this town. So 100 years later, the fog's come back with the creepy ghosts, and they need to kill 6 members of this town to get retribution. So it doesn't seem like a high number. Like most horror movies and slashers these days, you know, the higher the body count, the better. But yeah, and we lose 3 of those guys. Like at the beginning, there's 3 guys on a ship, and the fog rolls in, Buckflower being one of them, and 3 of them are pretty much off right away. So only leaving 3 more people to be killed by the creepy ghosts. So it's not a lot. And when you really think about it, there's not a lot to the plot. It's fairly basic. It is low budget as well. Carpenter wanted to give it a more cinematic feel by filming it in 235.1 to give that real anamorphic effect. So that kind of did give it more of a production value. But this is, make no mistake, it's a small budget film, and it's a small story with a really stellar cast, and just handled supremely well by a stellar storyteller. And also his producing partner at the time, Deborah Hill, the same team who gave us the wonderful Halloween. So yeah, The Fog is a good film. It's a great little ghost story. It's fairly basic in its approach, but it does have some pretty decent scares. A little bit of gore, not a lot, but it does have a bit more gore in it than I'm kind of expecting from this kind of film. 1980. I was 8 years old. So, and Carpenter doesn't really have a lot of gore effects in his movies. Like if you look back at Halloween, it's all suspense and thrills, not a lot of in-your-face gore. So he does kind of play that angle. He likes the scary effects that way, like to mess with your head. Now the 4K HDR transfer of this is really nice. A lot of dark inky blacks. There's a lot of night shots in this one, so those blacks are crisp and clear. And of course you're going to find some grain in a film done in the 1980s, and there's plenty of grain throughout this one as well. And the colours are kind of muted, like it's dealing with fog, so the weather's pretty poor throughout most of this film. There are a few sunny scenes where the HDR really kind of kicks into a higher gear, like all the grasses and the trees and the clothing. The colours do pop vibrantly when the sun's shining on them, but there's not a lot of sun, like I said, so the HDR doesn't really get a chance to shine. But it is a very crisp image. The 4K is really nice. The resolution is beautiful in this kind of, especially in that widescreen format that he uses. And yeah, the film, like I said, it's not my favourite in the Carpenter catalogue, but it is a really good film regardless. Like if you love Carpenter, you're gonna love The Fog. And owning it on this beautiful collection I got from Studio Canal is just amazing. And also got They Live, also given the deluxe treatment, looks amazing. And oh, I cannot wait to feel better. And Escape from New York. Now Halloween and Escape from New York are 2 of my favourites in Carpenter's repertoire of films. I just love the guy, what he does. Not so much his later stuff, but his early works, the 70s and 80s, it's just unreal. That's when he was at his most potent as a filmmaker. Anyway guys, that's my armchair review of The Fog. Have you seen it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. I got my TV screen right now on like a super high resolution kind of format, and this is the exact same thing I had with Rambo when I was watching that one. So I'm just going to do a quick fix, see if this, wait, that's the wrong thing, helps it out. So this is my LG OLED 4K TV. You do have some reflection issues there with the lights coming in the side there. Come on. So I've got onto Cinema User. I want to go down to Expert Control. You want to go to Dynamic Super Resolution here. So it's on high. Put it onto medium. That should definitely fix it up a fair bit. Even low. Off. No, so I'm going to put it back on the medium, see if that plays a little bit better, because yeah, it's pretty much unwatchable like that. Let's see if this plays a bit better. Yeah. Back soon.